What the fuck are you? You guys are crazy. Oh, f***ies. What are you? Oh, you're nasty looking. Oh, shit, we got him. Cut to my game like super crashing or something. So it's no secret I've been on the hunt for something to replace Skyrim. And maybe you have been too. I've talked about a bunch of games in my last 2 Skyrim Alternatives videos. Some of them are released and ready to play, but most of them not so much. I did, however, play some of the recommendations I got in those videos. And by some, I mean one. I started playing Dragon's Dogma because the new game's coming out soon and I'm so hyped for it and I really wanted to see what it was about. It's actually pretty fun despite being clearly aged. Sorry, anyway, there's another fantasy RPG game we've talked about before that is released. Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon. It's been out in early access and I finally bought it. But can this game replace Skyrim? Can anything replace Skyrim? According to this user, this game is Skyrim except interesting. That is a very bold claim, but let's see if they're right. Oh, here we go. Okay, all right. A solid title screen, if a bit blurry. And here we are taking our first steps into Tainted Grail, the Fall of Avalon. I did all the basic setup stuff, but I did notice that the game seemed slightly blurry. I couldn't tell if it was because the scene was being rendered in real time, like it wasn't just a static picture or video in the background, or something else was going on. Oh my god, this music's kind of fire. I think I saw a comment about that, or a review about it. Music's kind of hype. Holy crap. They needed to have this hype music for this long ass loading bar. It took a long time, but we finally got into the main menu of the game, and here's where I started to get slightly worried. My graphics settings was automatically set to low. Not to brag, I think I have a pretty decent PC that can run a pretty decent amount of games. I can play Skyrim in the full 4K mods and everything. So for this to put me in low makes me think maybe it's not as optimized as it could be, or maybe will be in the final build. Cut to my game like super crashing or something. Very Skyrim-esque, so it's gonna be hard to not compare this to Skyrim, especially given that's kind of what the whole intro was. But we do need to remember that this game is in early access. And keeping that in mind, we jump into the intro cutscene where we learn about what's going on in the game. So basically, King Arthur saved the lands from this thing called the Red Death, this great plague, with the help of Merlin and his magic. But now that the king is dead, the plague has returned, and there's this, I want to call them a cult of red priests that will stop at nothing to end the plague. And we are a prisoner in one of their jail cells, and hopefully we can stop the bad things that are going on. Oh, now we gotta make a character. Wow, look at that guy. I feel like is this guy the closest to me? I have to say, not my favorite character customization screen, but again, it's early access, and even if it wasn't my favorite, I still took a pretty long time configuring my character. Muscular for sure. You're crazy if you're not going muscular, bro. And after we were done, we could finally jump into the game. Ooh, okay. Why do we have a claw hand? 7 commandments. Okay, sure. So after messing around in my jail cell for a little bit, I got to talking with the guard, picked my class. Okay, so we got beat up in this jail cell. All right. Can you be a spell sword in this? And then this happened. That was real laggy. What just happened? Who are you? Oh, inventory. Okay. Not my favorite look for a magic spell, but I'll take it. All right. As soon as I got out of the jail cell, it was a race to loot and kill everything on my way out. Okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, this takes place clearly in like King Arthur times and stuff, so it's not its complete own universe. Well, I guess it kind of is, but I just mean it takes inspiration from King Arthur times. Let's get some clothes on, hey? It looks pretty good though. Ooh, an undead. It's a zombie. Ooh, okay, all right. It's early access. So they're like doing experiments in here or something? I will say it does feel a little early access. I don't know what it is, but it gives me that feel, that vibe to it. But I think once it hits, it seems... Fuck. It kind of took me a second to figure out what this felt like, but it felt like vanilla Skyrim. I'm not sure why that is, but I assume it's a combination of things, from the visuals to how the gameplay kind of plays out, the items that you can pick up, and just the overall vibe of everything. How do I block? He is murdering me so hard right now. Oh, you don't regen magic. Oh, that's ass. Yes, I do keep comparing this game to Skyrim. It's kind of hard not to. But one of the main differences between this and Skyrim is that your health and your magic don't passively regen. And there seems to be a big emphasis on dodging, or at least I'm putting a big emphasis on it, and stamina consumption. Attacks and dodging cost stamina, which I'm not really used to because of games like Skyrim, but if you're used to a Souls-like game, you might feel right at home. But I will say it did feel slightly jank. I'm not sure why that is, just trying to dodge people's attacks. I felt like I was still getting hit even though I was dodging, but maybe that's just because I'm not very good at Souls-like games. Feels closer to oblivion. After meeting up with the guy that broke us out of our cell, he basically said we need to escape and we're gonna meet up with him at the edge of the island. It looks really cool, this place. What the what the It took some fighting and some exploring, but we were finally getting somewhere. Skill tree is P. That's weird. Got him. So what I'm getting from this is that the red priests or whatever make like zombies and stuff. Is this a leap of faith situation? No, it's not. Okay. But just as I was finally starting to figure out the combat, I touched a statue and got teleported to who knows where. I think it TP'd me somewhere. What the where the fuck are we? I was super confused, but visually the place looked amazing. It looked really cool atmosphere, really cool vibes. And as I was walking around, I ran into a talking ball of light who honestly seemed just as confused as I was. What are you? These are like people? What the fuck? And after establishing that the ball of light is just as confused as we are, we found out that they're a prisoner of some kind and we're gonna help them escape. But we had to prove ourselves by fighting some zombies, and we did so with our new slow time effect that we unlocked. Oh, that's sick. Okay, all right, that's what the temporal hold is. I get it now. Okay, I'm beginning to believe. I understand. Oh, shitties. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just use it all. Oh, Jesus. And after all that, we were finally allowed to go back to the temple. What the fuck are you? You guys are crazy. This whole place looks nuts. Visually awesome. They're doing a really good job. Just minor gameplay things are not my favorite. I think it could use a bit of like some rework. Some more animations for things would be nice. Like when we pulled the sword out, maybe show us picking up the sword out of the thing. That would be kind of cool. So although recording me was speaking facts, we have a lot more gameplay to get through and only so much time in the video. So we're going to speed things up a little bit. Okay, so we explored a bit more, fought a zombie, picked up the same spell that I already have unlocked for some reason, went through a random portal, ended up on the beach, screwed around some more, found some tasty moonshine. Moonshine, that's pretty good because that helps with crafting. Screwed around even more. That's pretty nice water, actually. Finally spoke to the cool mustache guy, got little to no answers about the situation that we're in, and then we finally set off on this dude's boat. Now, I must say, it's so easy to compare this to Skyrim, like the dialogue and everything did feel very vanilla Skyrim-esque, but the world for some reason just feels a lot more empty. I'm not sure what it is, and I think a big thing for me that I've been noticing in a lot of games recently is lighting. This whole outside area reminds me again of vanilla Skyrim, where the lighting, it just isn't all that. I think lighting is a huge thing in games, and it can make a game that doesn't look so good look amazing. So if this game can make the lighting look even better, I think that would make the graphics look really, really nice. But all that aside, before we set sail, we were tasked with killing King Arthur, and once we did set sail, our ship crashed and we lost all of our buddies. But okay, we're here. I assume this is like it. We're here on the main lands that we're gonna be exploring, I'm guessing. Oh shit! What are you? Oh, you're nasty looking. A corpse eater. What the fuck? That was foul. And this is where the game felt like it was finally starting to kick off. Things started to feel like a classic fantasy RPG game as soon as we started fighting the wolves, picking up random items, exploring. We did a little bit of crafting, although we did craft plain food, which does make this feel like it's still earlier in development with the crafting system, but that's okay. We were having a good time. And then I unlocked the most useful skill in the whole game, pretty much the only skill I actually care about. I can finally regen my magic. Oh, look at that. We're regenning. Okay, perfect. That's truly all I wanted. And once I had that, I was confident to start fully exploring the world. I did have a quest at hand that I wanted to complete, but in a game like this, you have to take your time and really explore and look around and see everything there is to see. Blood Lake. Ooh, my favorite. Okay, this is very gross. I don't like this. Admittedly, I am in big focus mode, but that's why editing me is gonna come in and do all the voiceovers. Thanks, editing me. Yeah, no problem. All right, but anyway, after exploring a little bit, I decided to get back on track. And I can't heal. Like, is there passive regen? Is that a thing? Nope, no passive regen. But as I was stopped and looking around, I did start to find some cool things like this fast travel map. Oh, okay, so there's like points where you can fast travel. Pretty decently sized map, it seems. And I thought it was cool to see some things that we might potentially see in future updates and possibly at the full release of the game. But anyway, as we kept exploring, we immediately got into another fight. Something I also... Fuck, this music is so good!
You'll regret this!
Ow, bastard threw a rock at me. Don't throw shit at me. That's cheating. I can't throw stuff. Weapon hitting should not take stamina. Why did... Okay. And after sitting there very confused for a little bit, I realized that I unlocked a new spell, which seemed very familiar for better and for worse, but conceptually very cool, and visually, well, once we actually have it equipped, very cool. Oh, that's kind of cool. It shows you how much stamina you need. Bit weird. I feel like there's kind of a lot of things like this, like something will look quite visually appealing and kind of cool like this awesome spectral sword, but the way it's executed is just a little bit strange or off in a way that I don't really enjoy. Like the way you pull it out, it's as if you're re-equipping all your weapons, when really it could be a really nice animation where the sword appears in your hand after casting the spell. And I hate to say it, but it's almost impossible to not compare this to Skyrim, because I believe in vanilla Skyrim that's exactly how the bound sword appears. But anyway, something that I'm not particularly a huge fan of is the darkness that is like everywhere. It's kind of the same reason I have trouble playing games like Elden Ring and stuff, but like besides the fact that I'm god awful at those games. I'm not good at those games, but also it's very dark and gloomy. I understand that those games aren't meant to be these high saturation fantasy games. They have a different vibe for a reason, but I think whenever I get into those games, I'm always expecting something different, which is kind of why it's hard for me to get into them, as well as them just being not really my speed, not really my thing. And the gloominess certainly doesn't help. Oh my god. Oh, crabs. Never thought I'd... That came out weird. Like, there's a lot of crap in here. Like, am I supposed to collect all this stuff for something? I decided to keep pushing through after collecting crabs, and I finally got on to the main mission, trying to find some people, figure out what's going on, and complete our mission of killing King Arthur? Question mark? First, I spoke to a guard who had fallen asleep at his station. Get up, soldier, the enemy's coming. I could have stabbed you, and I didn't. He granted me access. I looked around a little bit, so I can press 2. Ah, okay. I like that. Having different loadouts. I really like that. And then I spoke to the guy in charge. Fergus, hello, we're here. He basically did the typical video game thing of, you go out and do a quest for me and then I'll help you with whatever it is you need help with. So I accepted the quest, and I was pretty eager to get back out there, see more of the game, see what the quests had to offer. And our first quest was going into a graveyard and killing some undead. Very classic. Wow, we're lagging real bad. Oh my god. It might be the foliage. At time of recording, they did have like a little post saying that the foliage was giving people, like a lot of people, problems. I was having a pretty good time exploring despite the lag spikes, which I think have actually been addressed in a recent update. Hopefully that's true. Haven't got to play it yet. But something I did notice and make a lot of comments about was the lighting. That was the thing that felt like it was lacking in this game. And if the lighting engine could be upgraded or changed, I think it could make this game really live up to its potential. But another thing that was super bothering me was the skill tree. There were a lot of skills that I simply wasn't interested in. The only skill I really wanted was the magic regen one, and the rest seemed kind of, I'll take it because I have skills and it's a skill tree, but either I didn't get far enough into the game for them to matter to me, or they just weren't as interesting as they could have been. That definitely looks like a standing skeleton. Okay, not a very good guard. That is the most skull-looking skull I've ever seen. Okay, let's just demolish these dudes. And demolish I did. I crushed every skeleton making my way into the crypt, is what I would say if the game and OBS didn't crash just as I was trying to get in. I'm honestly not sure which one to blame, but either way, they both crashed. I had to restart and make my way back into the crypt, where I found some really cool decorations and a surprisingly friendly, weird zombie guy. You look terrifying.
People here are trying to rest in peace.
I'm very sorry, sir. Jesus, excuse me. After a quick conversation, I paid the zombie man for his upkeep of the crypt. I collected the key to the crypt, and then I promised to definitely 100% not rob the crypt. We're gonna rob so many graves. The further I got into the crypt, the more undead I had to fight, but I eventually got to level 5, 100% did not loot anything at all, and then I finally found the source of this necromancy at the end of the dungeon. And it was, you guessed it, a necromancer. That's not me trying to clown on the choice of enemy, it's just a very expected thing to happen in a dungeon like this. Oh, fuckies! Ow! Holy shit, okay, okay. Whoa! He does big ass damage. He seemed like a nice enough dude, but the necromancer just had a really cool mask. I wasn't able to reason with him, so he had to be taken down. Nah, I'm sorry, I need that armor. Holy shit, he has a lot of fucking health. Wowzers, and he shoots fireballs. That's not fair. Yeah, shoot your own dudes. Ow! Bro has infinite magic. This is bullshit. Okay, now's the time to wail on him. Oh, the more you hit them, the more it like does the thing. Oh shit, we got him! Let's go! Now you're just a fucking naked dude on the floor. And after killing the Necromancer, I looted a very cool spell, in theory, but unfortunately it didn't work that well. Summons a skeleton! I kinda like that, that's kinda fun. I can raise a skeleton. That's kinda fun, I like the little casting animation for that. Oh, he's a bit shit though. He's a little bit shit. He's a bit shit. And from there, I left the dungeon and went to turn in my quest. Is what I would say if the game didn't do this nifty little thing where it crashed and would not work ever again. Yeah, no idea what happened. I did see in a recent post from the devs that they fixed the issue with certain players crashing when leaving certain dungeons. I have not played since then though, because that was so frustrating and I had to redo the boss battle every time because I kept forgetting to save. And my experience with the game has not been good since then. I do not know why, I have no explanation for this, but editing this game has been hell. I've been editing this video for probably over 2.5 weeks because Premiere Pro hates editing this game. I don't know what it is. I've edited videos and shorts after playing and recording this game, but for some reason Premiere just doesn't like it. It freezes every time I try to edit it. I have to close Premiere, reopen it. Unfortunately, that kind of soured the whole experience for me, on top of the game being a bit buggy and crashy and whatever. But it's no secret, this game is early access, so we can only assume that it's gonna get better from here, and I really hope that it does, because right now it does heavily remind me of vanilla Skyrim, for better and for worse. Vanilla Skyrim had a lot of potential. It was an awesome game when it came out, and if this game keeps going, keeps expanding, it has a chance to be a competitor with vanilla Skyrim. But it was actually really fun. It was a lot of fun to kind of mess around with. Definitely still feels a bit early access, so keep that in mind if you're planning on getting the game. Unfortunately, it's almost impossible to compete with current day Skyrim because the modding scene is just absolutely insane. But who's to say that it's even trying to do that? I've been comparing it to Skyrim a whole bunch, but I don't think that's necessarily what this game is for and what any game is for and about. I think that made sense, yeah. If you guys want, I can check this game out again after updating it because I'm sure it runs a bit better now, and I'll try to just keep up with development and see where it's at in full release, because it's a lot harder to judge a game that's still in early access. But I do think this game has a chance of being really good if it gets some polish and some love going forward, which I'm sure it will. But if you guys would like to keep up with the development, I'll leave a link to the game down in the description below. But yeah, for now, that's gonna be just about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.